Hey guys, this is Comic and today I'm doing a review for Ms. Marvel issue 9, which is a Civil War II tie-in. And before I start talking about this issue, just want to give you guys a little update. Of course I have Comic episode 155, and that's annotated. That's show where I review all the comics I've read this week in one show, and the exclusive comics for that show are in the description below, so be sure to check that out. But let's start talking about Ms. Marvel issue 9. So I loved the last issue. I thought Ms. Marvel probably has one of the best tie-ins to Civil War II. Totally recommend it. Because it kind of shows both sides a little bit more of Ms. Marvel obviously idolizing Captain Marvel, but at the same time saying, maybe the thing she's doing isn't right. So I feel like, at least with Ms. Marvel, she takes a little bit more of both sides. A lot of the other books is just like Iron Man's, right? So it's cool to kind of delve into more of this dilemma where you actually do feel like it's a more two-sided argument. So beautiful cover here. We just have Kamala really upset about Captain Marvel, which I guess is a little misleading because she's not up to that level just yet in this issue. Probably the next issue she'll be up to the level of spray painting phony on Captain Marvel's sign. But still a very cool cover, and just shows you it's a Civil War II tie-in. Now, talking about the interior artwork, this is definitely my favorite art style that is for Ms. Marvel. It's a little cartoonier, but I think it works so well for Ms. Marvel. The colors are great of how bright this is. So yeah, I just really enjoy the artwork. I'm trying to see if there's like any action scenes, but honestly, it's mostly just talking scenes here. But yeah, I like kind of the cartoonier look here, and the brighter colors. So especially the coloring, I think, works really well in this issue. But let's start talking about the issue itself, the story. So with this story, it continues from last issue where Josh is the cliffhanger of him, Ulysses having a vision about him, and he kills people by accident. He's like trying to work this power grid, try to get the attention of Zoe. But he doesn't know, he's gonna kill people or hurt people because of it. But Kamala's like kind of torn now because this is her good friend, or at least they've become better friends throughout, I would say, like the past year. And she knows this guy's not bad. So it's going into her personal life a lot, and she's saying, well, he didn't actually do anything. He didn't, and the thing that he's about to do is an accident. So how is this his fault? And if I was able to talk to him instead of putting him in jail, maybe this could fix things. So again, she's in a very, big dilemma here because she wants to be, there for Captain Marvel, but the ethical dilemma is really overweighing her. Now, a big part of this issue, though, is Kamala's friends who go to the rescue for Josh and tell Ms. Marvel, well, this isn't right. You have Nakia, who, is one of Ms. Marvel's best friends, Kamala's best friend, who gives a little wink-wink that she probably knows that Kamala is Ms. Marvel, and I kind of love this scene. It's one of my favorites, definitely one of my favorite panels I've seen in a long time, where Ms. Marvel's like, oh, well, we have to keep Josh, I'm sorry, this is the only right thing to do, and then she said, come on, Bruno, let's get out of here. We're not Ms. Marvel's friends. We're background characters. And I just love that panel right there. Because it's kind of a wink-wink of we're more than background characters. And I'll get into this, but I think I think Ms. Marvel could have easily fell into the high school trope of, alright, Kamala has one good friend, Bruno, he's the supporting character. But what I love about Ms. Marvel is that it's more than just Bruno. You do have Nakia's character, and I'll get into Zoe's character. You have Josh's character, who could be total two-dimensional background characters who actually have more story than Kamala in this issue, and that's not a bad thing. So I think that was really well done. So now it's Ms. Marvel trying to decide, what do I do? And then she gets an alert that Bruno's trying to get Josh out of the holding facility with his tech, and he ends up getting hurt because of it. And at first Kamala's like, oh, he's okay, and he ends up not being okay. So now she's seeing these personal dangers that are happening because they try to change the future. I love this issue. I thought it was so well done, and it's, what I like about this issue so much, it goes back to what I was saying, is like we're more than background characters, because it actually develops every single character that totally could have been minor characters and gives them more than two-dimensional story. So you just going into Josh, because really the three main characters we get a lot of story with here, background characters, are Zoe, Nakia, and Josh. Bruno a little less, but we've gotten Bruno so much, and he ends up being the cliffhanger anyways. And again, Kamala's just kind of she's still the main character, but she's just kind of dealing with all these situations and making that ending and making, you know, her friends being hurt a little bit more powerful because you have these characters having this good backstory. So starting with Josh, you know, Josh could have just totally been the hey bro type character, football player, and they always say, oh, well, he's too dumb or whatever, and they play with this to show that he's actually a good friend. And you'll see when I talk about Zoe there that he's actually a good friend, and that he doesn't fight to try to, like, you know, stay out of jail. Like, I mean, at first he does, but he's trying to deal with, I guess, whatever the law is changing to be. So I just like how Josh handles the whole situation. And then Nakia, you know, giving that little wink wink of, is she Miss Marvel? Do I know she's Miss Marvel? Probably. Now lastly I want to talk about, because I thought this was a really well done scene, was with Zoe. So in this issue we find out, you know, Zoe has a little conversation with Josh because the reason that Josh was going to do this was to get Zoe's attention. And Zoe's like, I kind of wish you didn't do this, but, you know, I want to help you. You're my friend. And he's like, I just don't understand why you don't like me. Like, I don't get why this happened. Like, I understand you changed, but is it because I'm not enough for you? And then you see, you know, a moment that could have been totally cliche changed into making these two characters have story. And Zoe says, no, I just don't like boys. So we find out that she actually likes Nakia. And I thought that twist was so well done because, you know, there's times in comics where I said, oh, that's diversity just for diversity's sake. Here, this happened so organically and made the character even better because of that scene. And it's a really just cool moment between Josh and Zoe, again, to build up those characters. But I just love that scene, how they approached it. And it makes me excited to see where Zoe's character goes. And again, this issue is just so well done for supporting characters. And not a lot of series tends to do that. So I love the issue. I thought it really hit every note of what Civil War II is about, with this whole dilemma, ethical dilemma, and Miss Marvel is just pinned into the middle of that. It was just a great issue. I loved it, and I gotta give Miss Marvel issue 9 5 stars. I just thought it was the perfect tie-in that actually builds Miss Marvel's series also, that I feel like you could talk all day and pick apart. So yeah, Miss Marvel issue 9 for me gets a perfect 5 stars, and it was my pick of the week. Definitely recommend the issue. If you're not picking up a lot of tie-ins, this is the tie-in you should definitely be picking up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.